Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. I'm Arthur Perkins, and this is, what were we going with? APGamingREAL? I'm APGamingREAL. I'm joined by the usual crew and Swargula, who's come out of retirement. You okay? You gonna get through this, buddy?
I'm so happy. Yeah, go ahead.
You gonna get through this?
Oh, I love it. I'm already like in cloud 9. That's great.
Excellent, excellent. There were promises made and broken that there would be steampunk costumes. Cotton showed up. I had assumed that Pondo would show up in a cowboy hat.
It's only because you guilted her into it, essentially.
Yeah, great. That's excellent.
I never promised about coming in with a cowboy hat.
That was... I thought it was implied, but it wasn't. Look, let's get to the part that we are playing the Genesys system, which is the Star Wars Edge of the Empire's kind of... You can do anything with it, any setting, etc., etc. You know, I'm not really big on these particular systems, but they have a subsystem about steampunk airships, and Cotton implied that she and Sid were 100% into this concept. Sid, are you actually into the concept? I don't know now. Now I'm confused. All right.
Yeah.
Sid is actually invested.
It just completely
he forgot. He forgot. Okay.
I don't know why.
All
I
right.
would like to point out,
I really wanted to do that. I did.
I have a full costume that I would have worn if Sid had dressed up with me.
Oh my god. All right, reschedule next week.
No, we already rescheduled once. Last week I slept through the episode because I was super sick.
Just stretch it into a two-parter.
Yeah, we're gonna stretch it into a two-parter. No matter what.
What are you guys, Dr.
Gaming
Wreckage?
does, we do the opposite. All right.
So when I tell you guys that you're supposed to show up at a pirate den, you're like, all right, we fly back to Washington. So, of course, everyone's invested in the system except Pondo. All right, look, I'm trying to make...
Are you segueing or are you just...
I don't know. I thought I could get a good joke in there, but then Pondo dropped it on me, and I'm like, oh.
You're like 0 for 3 on jokes already. This is a little rough.
You know what? Let me tell you something, though. My BattleTech intro on Thursday is polling extremely well. Some have said it is the greatest intro I've ever done. Why are you frowning at that, Pondo? It was excellent. It was excellent. I'm still cleaning up the cards that I threw across the room.
Let's say the burn was negated by you throwing the cards that you had to pick up later.
Yeah, I can literally see one from my desk right here. So here's the thing.
Showmanship.
Here's the thing about those cards. I ripped them out of my art book. And it's one of those spiral things, so of course it has the little, you know, the little in-betweens. And when I threw that shit, like half of the little things flew off of the cards and went flying. And now I'm like down on my hands and knees, like picking them up. I'm like, this was a huge mistake, but at least people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did someone clip that? Is that clip somewhere?
You probably could just go back.
It's the very beginning of the 5th episode of BattleTech.
Okay.
High speed. I'm just like.
Your intro for us was a remix storytelling of your best intro for someone.
Yeah, you know, look, you can do that. It's called the Jack Black maneuver. All right.
What?
You can have a song telling people about the time you told the greatest song.
Oh.
Exactly, Sam. Speaking of introductions, let's start with SIDAlpha. All right, he's eating. Speaking of introductions, let's start. Okay, all right, we'll go with you.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Yes, I'm here. I made it. I was actually almost late because I was clearing snow outside. It's been a good week so far. We had a lot of fun on BattleTech. Well, I had a lot of fun on BattleTech. I feel like we're still in a somewhat precarious position. It could go either way, I feel, with the battling in the BattleTechs. And I actually just posted a video dunking on a YouTuber 3 times with a channel 3 times the size of mine just a couple of minutes ago. And his fans are in there. Hey, I didn't know you were a fan of his channel. Give it about 6 or 7 minutes. And
do you title these like SIDAlpha Rex big whatever, like in like full capital letters?
That's clickbait bullshit. Hell no. No.
I mean, if it works for
My
Ben
viewers
Shapiro, it
would
should work for you, right?
If I
Please
did
not
that
Ben
type of
Shapiro.
crap.
SIDAlpha destroys larger YouTuber.
I mean, my descriptions and thumbnails are very, very direct and to the point, and I still get people accusing me of clickbaiting. I'm like, everything that's in the description and in the thumbnail is in the video and discussed. It's not clickbait at all, but people still give me for it. If I were to do stuff like that, I would have mass unsubbings. Not a chance. I wouldn't do it. Except for there was the time when I rickrolled everyone.
Sid, I feel like you're putting the cart before you're putting the steam engine before the steam airship. Who are you? Where can people find you, and what do you do?
That's more outro type stuff, but
I don't need no. I mean, people theoretically should know who you are when they're about to watch you for the next 4 hours. So,
I mean, sure, that's fair. I'm a YouTuber. I do video game news, industry commentary, occasional reviews. So I'm at youtube.com/SIDAlpha. And I'm sure if you just type in SIDAlpha anywhere on the internet, you'll be able to find me for good or ill. Some people love me, some people hate me, but regardless of whichever way you land, here I am.
some people do hate you. I've seen that.
That's true. I actually have a very dedicated core of anti-fans.
But do some people call you Maurice?
I was.
Where do these fans meet up? Are they free on Thursday nights by chance?
Actually, I know that some of them have a Discord. I snuck in there once. They found out it was me and they kicked me out, though.
Ooh, yeah. SIDAlpha is wrong about Star Citizens. SIDAlpha is a fake. Outdated.
Infiltrating behind enemy lines.
If you have a Discord solely devoted to trolling you, you're doing something right.
Yeah, it's it was pretty damn amusing. I got some great screenshots.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just Googled SIDAlpha good or ill, as you said in the third video. SIDAlpha is a fake, updated in description, and the word description is spelled incorrectly. So you don't have the worst of enemies. There could be worse. You could have illiterate enemies.
Oh, this is new.
Ones that spell check. Perhaps.
Oh wait, no, that's February 20th. Who the hell is this guy?
Look, Sid, here's the deal. I was thinking about you the other day as I was cruising through the new.
Yeah. No, I remember that. This guy, I had a lot of fun with that guy.
I was cruising through the new Chinese manhwas, and I found one called "Living with My Anti-Fan." It's about a journalist who pisses off a big-time social media idol, and then through random circumstances over like 20 chapters, they end up living together and getting married. And I was like, this is what my boy SIDAlpha needs to do. He needs to move in with someone who hates him and then have a hate fuck. And it's done. It's sealed.
It's a sitcom. It's just a sitcom. That sounds great. You just get like 5 people that all hate Sid and they all live in a house together.
No, it's just the two of them. They're the only like main characters of the entire story.
Yeah. And they have to do normal roommate things like go to the pound and try to pick out a dog that they want. That kind of stuff. It sounds great. Yeah, I'd watch it.
The video that Swargula found there, this guy was a fan of mine, absolutely lost his damn mind because he found out that I was going to the GDC conference last year. And throughout the course of that video, he actually does directly slander me multiple times. I could go and sue him right now if I wanted to.
Is he a SIDAlpha? Is he part of that camp?
No.
I know that hurts you. I know it hurts you. But look, man, I can't stop. Ever since I heard it, it's like listening to Friday by Rebecca Black. I can't get it out of my head.
Oh God! No, that video was actually worth watching. It's so damn hilarious.
Yeah, Friday by Rebecca Black is pretty good.
No, God, no.
I know what you meant, but I also know what I meant.
I would not wish the Rebecca Black music video on Digital Homicide. That's how terrible it is.
I disagree.
Most people don't know who that is, but it's fun. It's terrible. I would not wish Rebecca Black on my worst enemies. That's how god awful she is.
I used to play that song every Friday at work for like 3 times in a row.
This guy knows.
It was fantastic. Oh, I'm everything to describe me as masochist. But oh God, it was so good.
Can never let this guy near Lexi.
What's the story behind it? Is she also a masochist?
Look, I want to just roll back the
does-
camera. Cotton briefly smiles for like a single frame and then pretends she did it and goes to do something else. Happened. Fucking happened.
I'll get the story from that later. I want it on the break.
I don't think we will.
Yeah. It's a tale almost 2 years in the telling at this point.
Now, Lexi's story, I know. Cotton's, I don't think we'll ever find out.
All right, Sam, let's go ahead and do your intro. I mean, you disappeared from the internet for a while. Now you're back.
I don't have an intro.
Look, man, your intro is literally that song from Frozen, right? We used to be best buddies, but now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you want to build a steampunk airship?
We're still best buddies. I laid out my love to you like 2 weeks ago.
I wouldn't say it was love. It was man admiration, right?
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Skylar.
All right.
What's going on with my life? I don't know. I was literally off the internet. I stopped streaming like a year and a half ago. I didn't have internet for like 4 months, like completely zero internet. I hotspotted off of my phone for like 4 months. That was an experience. Re-got it like 2 months ago. Regretted it. Now I don't regret it necessarily. And I'm doing various things on the internet, a couple of projects in the work here or there. That's really it. Currently, I'm unemployed, and it sucks.
Yes.
And it sucks. It sucks a lot. Been unemployed for almost like 2 weeks now. And, it's going outside sometimes seems like a fantastical idea.
Yes.
That's it. I got nothing else. I don't know what to. I'm a passionate teacher.
You are. Are you prepared to talk about this Last GM Standing show that you've got? Is that happening?
No, I don't care. I don't care enough.
All right. Okay.
I don't have I think the idea is brilliant, and if someone wanted to do it, I highly fucking suggest it because I think it's a genius thing for someone who gave a shit about streaming TTRPGs to do. But I don't give a shit. So like the effort in me to try to also I've burned I wouldn't say I've burned a significant number of bridges, but they've been burned somehow one way or another.
I mean, it's just been time, man. You got to build your way back into the network.
It's time, and I'm an abrasive asshole for most people. I grow on people. I'm like herpes. You'll like me in like 2 years.
No, you're more like moss.
Yeah, sure. You'll be like, that guy sucks, and then like 2 years later, you'll be like, he's kind of the best, and then I'll be like, yeah, thanks. Usually,
I don't think I've ever thought either of those. Although I will never forgive you for Dream Punch. That shit was singularly, possibly the worst stream I've ever had.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, Sam, you were like, I got this guy, Dream Punch. He's my bro. Let's do a Star Wars game with him. And he's like, I like messing with little boys. And I was that
was for charity, right?
Yeah, it was for charity.
Yeah, it worked. And I think we raised money too, I believe. Specifically, Dream Punch, I believe, raised the money.
No, I raised a fuck ton of money.
But he was part of it. He was part of it. I believe his character that raised like $20 or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
Listen,
I haven't talked
man,
to him in forever.
People I know drop like over $200 on that particular show. I had to write the Chewbacca rap for that show. You don't remember that? There was a tier where you could get somebody on the show to write a rap for you.
Do you want me to like relay your hate for Dream Punch to him, or
no? I just wanted to relay it to you
because of him for some reason from 2 years ago.
I'll never forgive you for that situation. You know, you're that one friend who set you up, and you're like, that was a real mistake, man. That's not my type.
Look, what happened? That was the thing that happened, and we're better people for it. We've learned.
Are we?
I would do it again. I would do it again. That's it.
I'll be super clear. I would not.
That's fine.
However, I will say this.
Rebecca Black, so we already know you're.
Yeah. I'm a masochist, so like anything that's like, oh yeah, you wanna hit me with the stick multiple times? Yeah, sure. You wanna cut off my finger? Yeah, all right. Let's go. Sorry, that got a little too real. But that's what playing with Dream Punch is like.
All right. I want to make it clear to everybody here. No shows with him and Lexi. Ever. If I ever come up with this idea, just tell me no. Speaking of someone who
if you ever want Twitch to take your channel down,
yeah, I mean, it would be like watching a phoenix burn out in a glorious explosion before smoldering into ash.
That sounds really beautiful.
I was going to say, speaking of people who say no to me, but now I'm going to say, speaking of people who are beautiful, let's talk to Pondothemad.
Well, thank you.
Look, I really try to shotgun these intros from whoever went last to the next person. So, you know, sometimes you end up with something that matches and sometimes you don't.
Have I said no to you, AP? I pretty much have done every show you've asked me to do.
I feel like, though, if you said no to something, it would be like when Kelsa says no. I'd be like, oh, fuck, I better rethink my life. If Kelsa said no to this, how bad is it? Like, do I need to recenter myself? If Pondo was like, Arthur, this is not appropriate, I'd be like, oh, shit.
Is it really bad or like SIDAlpha bad?
That involves rolling dice, though.
I'll pass. Yeah. Don't equate rolling dice with what we could show to an audience.
I don't know. I've been on some pretty bad stuff, though.
Name one really bad thing you've been on.
Huh?
Name one.
Made RPG.
You thought that was bad?
No, what happened during it was bad.
Wait, what happened during Made RPG?
Panties got stolen.
Oh, right, that did happen.
That's it, though. That was like the worst thing that got happened.
Lexi. Actually, just pretty much a lot of things that Lexi did.
I mean, look, if you're going to say that the worst things that have happened to you are being on a show with Lexi, then I have news for you, because you're actually on a couple other shows with Lexi in the immediate future.
And I've heard things about what Lexi's planning on doing, I'm afraid.
What's she planning on doing?
I like how you're talking to me.
I'm sorry.
Look, if the two of you want to talk to each other, you're either going to have to both mute your mics or both talk into the mics.
Is it a 50 Shades of Grey game? And if not, can we
fucking
do that?
Pokemon.
No.
It's Pokemon.
Is it
Lexi
like
will make it lewd somehow? I know
Is
it.
it like 50
it's like Pokemon Hente? Is it like Pokemon?
Pondo, who are you? Where can people find you, and what do you do?
I am Pondo, or you can call me or Pondothemad. Man, I messed it up.
Can I call you Ishmael?
God,
I don't know what that is.
Grown.
What? That's literally the first line of Moby Dick. Call me Ishmael.
I never read the book.
Yeah, I mean, no one has, but like, it's a popular first line.
I've read. Oh, okay.
I read the book.
Yeah, thank you. God damn it, my camera's reversed.
And I don't like whales, so you know.
I mean, nobody likes whales. They're like giant dolphins.
You don't like whales?
Yeah.
The most majestic creatures in the sea?
You believe that whales are majestic sea creatures? Let me tell you something. You know those nightmares you have as a child of things with very large mouths just opening it up and swallowing you whole? Whales literally just sail through the ocean and eat stuff by sucking it in their giant mouths while swimming past them.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
creature.
they're super dolphins, but with teeth the size of people's fists.
Super dolphins. That's like the best description of them.
No, dolphins are horrifying murder creatures. Dolphins use their mind blast powers of sonic energy in order to create a ball of fish, and then while the rest of them paralyze this ball of fish, one of them will open its mouth and sail through it at high speed, stuffing as much live fish in its mouth as it can, then resuming its paralysis attack while another dolphin sails through it. When you're out fishing, you'll be like, oh man, there's a fish that's about to get on my hook. A dolphin will show up and send out a sonar ping, and the fish will be like, fuck. Yeah, fuck dolphins, brother. They're horrible monsters. Whales are shitty as well. We should save all of these creatures because they're essential to a working ecosystem. We shouldn't eat them, but we don't need to respect them.
I agree. We should, you know, they're fine and they should live and they should be happy, but I don't want to be nowhere near them.
Exactly. God damn it, my camera's first. Exactly. Pondo, when you're right here not respecting dolphins, what else are you doing?
I actually do respect dolphins. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, can we take a vote right now? Who,
Sure.
Who here is
Raise
pro
your hand if you
whale-
believe dolphins are murder machines.
mammalian sea creatures? Yeah, raise your hand, please.
Really, Cotton? You're not
Well,
gonna...
I like dolphins.
They are murder
and
machines.
whales.
Yep, you're outnumbered. Democracy
fine,
sucks,
fine.
doesn't it, losers?
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
they're
so-
still really cute murder machines though.
That's questionable.
Dolphins are adorable.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with koalas. They're murder machines. They're adorable.
Are they?
Yeah,
it's just like
I
my
thought
African
koalas were
neighbors.
vegetarians. They
Yeah,
are.
but no, they're
but
still
they
like
don't
they're
murder the
still
shit
like
out of you.
yeah, they're still like horribly
They're
aggressive.
highly aggressive.
Yeah.
You
I've
should
never
not go
heard
near a
this.
koala if you see it in wild.
I have literally
Super
never heard
aggressive.
of this. I'm
Yeah, don't. They're very grouchy. Don't wake when they wake up. They have to like sleep all day.
my
or the
God,
grouchy.
am I actually a koala?
No, you're
Can we
not.
get some? Yeah, can we get some AP Gaming fan art of him as a koala? I
You
would
didn't
love
see?
that.
There's AP Gaming fan art of me as a rabbit, as a crow, as a twin-tailed, drill-tailed woman.
A woman?
Yeah, you haven't
A woman
seen.
with
there
two
one of you as a
tails? You as a bear would be nice. You as a koala would be.
We
pretty-
did have me as a bear. Sunspirit did it.
Yeah, I know. It would be pretty cute. I would see that shit.
All right, look, I'm gonna get you some of these avatars that people have made for me.
I
While we
think
keep
a
talking.
long time ago I drew you and Henley as Timon and Pumbaa.
Yes, you did, and I have that fan
Oh,
art somewhere.
God, yeah, I think I've seen that. I think I have seen that.
I actually want to see this.
Yeah, I do want to see this too. Yeah.
This is the first I've heard of this.
It's pretty old art. So, you know.
That's
All
what
right.
you should do. You should do this like once a year, AP, where you just get a bunch of motherfuckers on a show and you just talk about that year in AP gaming, and you all just have a nostalgia trip. And
I
we
mean,
all
I
just
do.
make fun. Do you
I'll
do
think
that
about
every-
it.
That's
Think about
every
it.
week of BattleTech. Actually.
Yeah, no, BattleTech is more strongly focused toward Disney content.
That's because of rad.
I feel like all of your shows.
Don't underestimate my ability. Cotton drew me as a bat that eats fruit.
Baby Fruit Bat Arthur. I forgot about that.
Yeah, baby fruit bat Arthur. Exactly. All right, I'm looking for this Timon and Pumbaa. I've got 1,100 images to sort through. So
I think I also drew you as a goat once I found out that I couldn't name the fruit bat.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
don't know if I have
Arthur
that.
as a goat would be nice. Yeah.
Name one reason why I would be a good goat.
I don't know. You just have goat-like qualities. You have that goat-like demeanor.
I'm not sure what that is. Is he everything?
Look,
I don't know.
Sid,
I think it's the beard.
I apologize for
I think
that
it's
name
the-
that
I
I
think
called
it's
you
the beard.
earlier that I passed along. I feel like now this Swargula's hitting me with the same level of content here.
I think he's actually hitting you with more though. That's like.
Yeah,
you're
I mean, he
getting
called me a
instant
goat.
karma, but
I think you have that like kind of like Mr. Tumnus beard. Like
You think
it's
I
like-
look like a satyr?
Yeah, I could see
Okay.
you as a satyr.
Okay.
You're kind of like the ones from Hercules.
Jesus.
You mean Phil?
I think those are demons though. I think those are like
No,
I
they're not demons.
I don't know what they are. I don't even know if I've ever seen the movie, to be honest.
I'm not going to be able to find this Timon and Pumbaa image in time, but
Oh,
if I
man.
find it on a go through, I will send
Yeah.
it to you, Sam.
Sure. Yeah. So Ponda, you were streaming the other day, huh?
Yeah, we were going to talk about Pondo, but we keep getting interrupted.
This earlier this morning, I finally got back to Kingdom Hearts 2.
2 or 3?
3. I'm sorry, 3, yeah. I got back to 3.
How's
We
that
got you
going?
back.
Is the game fun? I've seen a lot of people that were like, "Oh man, I really want to play it so bad," and then there was complete silence for like weeks afterwards. No one is like,
I
3
haven't
was
had
great.
no-
I had a lot of fun. It wrapped up the series." Like, there's nothing.
I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole that is Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-mm.
I've heard that is a video game series that will consume your soul if you're not careful.
Yeah, like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid won't consume your soul, and it doesn't take that long.
What?
Metal Gear Solid, you can play 1 through
close.
5 in like a week.
What?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're much
I mean,
longer
you get
games than
lost
that.
in the many plot holes.
4 was incredibly long.
Well, I never played 4. I skipped over that.
I was
one.
gonna say like the first 4. I think 5 is probably the shortest one.
5 is the shortest.
You can beat 1 in just a couple of hours if you're, fast.
But Pondo, what do you think of
You can
Kingdom
beat most
Hearts?
Far Cry games in less than 10
Let's let the man do his intro. Yeah.
I mean, what I've played of it so far, it's incredibly easy because they just were like, well, Sora's supposed to be weak, but let's just throw a random shit in here to make him more powerful, like he ever was.
Yep. That
I'm
sounds
having
about
fun
right.
with the story and everything. The gameplay kind of just dumbed down, and I hate it. And he has a phone like a millennial, but he's acting like he doesn't know anything about technology, so it's all very.
Look, I
There's
saw
one
this
point
one thing where someone was like, yeah, look, I was taking selfies with my phone, and then this happened, and they were like taking a selfie with Donald, and in the background there was a giant, enormous fish thing with its mouth open coming in at a high speed. Like a boss fight that just happened while they were taking a selfie.
God, I gotta try that.
God
Now I
damn
gotta
it,
go
Pondo.
just randomly in a boss fight.
Oh.
All right, time to take a selfie. I'm gonna have to find a clip of that song and play it while in the midst of doing it. Just have it queued up to press play.
All right. What else do you do besides play that particular Kingdom Hearts?
I work at Sherwin-Williams Painting. Eventually, I'm going to, not be so busy and be able to record some other games and stuff. I have one game pre-recorded. I'm just waiting to finish it before releasing it all.
Okay, all right. And I think I have you on the hook for what are we doing now? We're doing masks in My Hero Academia.
That is the plan, yes.
Excellent. I'm gonna make the worst hero power possible, and there are some terrible ones on the show, like becoming smarter by drinking tea. You remember that girl? She blew up a building.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, there's some weird powers.
It's like I have a high IQ, but it gets higher when I drink tea.
Sugar Rush.
No, Sugar Rush makes a lot of sense though.
That one does, yes.
Yeah.
Because once
when he eats a shit ton of sugar, he gains a bunch of caloric energy and can punch people harder.
Eventually, it goes down, and he's dead to the world at that point.
Yeah, sugar crashes.
Yeah.
Sam's like, what the fuck is this? You guys talking about some weeb shit?
The weirdest quirk, one of the weirdest quirks, I think maybe the weirdest, is the one guy that can turn people into like meat blobs.
That is pretty horrifying.
It was really interesting.
Interesting is not the word I used.
Yeah. I think the exact words when I first saw it was, oh, what the hell? WTF? The fuck is that?
Weird. You got anything else to share, Pondo?
No, that's about it.
It's rare for you to talk this much during an intro. I'm super proud of you.
It is impressive.
I usually do have like things I want to talk about, and then I just immediately forget about them when it's my turn.
You know what you can do is write stuff down. You could even put it on a piece of paper in front of you, and then you're just like, fuck.
So there's this thing called paper.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah, I gotta eventually get stuff as well like that.
Excellent. Cotton, let's do some intro for you. You're the one that sold me on this game. You were like, let's do it, and I was like, okay. Let me take like a super long time to set it up, and then we got here. When you're not blackmailing me into running this game for you, what are you doing?
I do it a lot.
That's true.
I have a play-by-post that runs super slowly, and then I have another one that's also been slow because I've been very busy.
Did you just draw me as a koala?
Yes.
Okay. All right. AP koala, finish it off. What do we got? 4-letter word. All capitals. AP koala real. Sam, you workshopping this one, Sam? You workshopping it?
Get back to me after Cotton's intro.
I drew him with a grumpy face because you're done with Swargula's talk from earlier. Because you were grumpy with him at the time that I was looking at you.
I can actually just look over and see it. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I told you to stop doing that. Well, I don't really know if I have anything else.
You don't do anything else on the internet or in life
on the
ever?
Internet, I did do the Canco show, but it's over. And then I do the BattleTech show.
That's true. You are on a major show Thursday nights.
Oh, that's right. It's like a big one of your shows, isn't it?
It's bigger than all of the other shows combined.
Huh. I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Before. Well.
Welcome to the big leagues. I don't like it, Pondo. Koala APGamingREAL.
No, I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
It's the only spot that really works.
Yeah.
Too many syllables.
Words that rhyme with real.
Oh my god.
It's like think of AP Koala Feel, and that doesn't make any sense.
AP Koala is real. I mean, that's all I got.
I mean, typically how you do it is AP blank real.
Yeah.
That tends to be the traditional format.
No, there's AP cooking meal. AP gaming feel.
Yeah, you can change up the last two parts. AP's got to be first.
It'd be easier if you were like dressed as a seal. You could do AP something seal.
So
AP barking seal? I don't know.
I feel like everyone's trying too hard when these things should just come naturally, because if you force them, then they're going to suck.
I guess you could say that what Sid wants.
Oh God. This is embarrassing for you.
It got stuck on my ear, but I got there. What Sid really wants is an AP Gaming reveal. Look, I'm just trying to make Pondo as uncomfortable as possible by dropping word puns.
Oh, that's
puns are great.
That's gonna be a yikes from me, bro. That's gonna be an omega yikes.
You think so, Sam? I guess you could say that it's.
Oh no.
An AP Gaming raw deal.
Oh. You know those cringe compilations? We probably could have just done a whole one with this intro. You could probably just cut up this intro and just make a whole 10-minute compilation.
Well, I feel like it was AP Gaming Ideal, but that's just because I'm AP Gaming Genteel.
You won me back, AP. You won me back. I'm back on board.
Can I report Twitch?
Please.
The audience is getting slaughtered out there. They can't survive.
Sits behind a mountain and just launch missiles at something without looking at him.
Exactly.
I mean, that's exactly what would happen if Arthur's Patreon didn't screw it up for me.
I mean, you're doing that now.
Look, don't be mad at those guys. I am
mad at those guys.
We played the Sprawl last night. It was fucking amazing, and now I want to run another Sprawl campaign.
Doesn't matter. I'm still mad at him.
Well, you can be mad forever. That power is overpowered.
That's
you can
fine.
literally just stand still and shoot people you can't see with no help at all.
Sensor checks to do it.
Oh yeah, like it's gonna be really hard to beat a sensors check in that game.
Have you seen me roll
You need an 8, and you've got like a +5.
Yeah, have you seen me roll 6-sided dice?
Yeah, I have. You were landing hit after hit this week. I know, because Lexi's mechs are missing a ton of armor.
That's because he was getting lucky.
You don't have to be lucky when your 2-hit is a 3 on a 2d6.
So you can mess it up.
My hit was a 7.
Also, to be fair, I damaged a lot of Lexi's mechs.
Yeah, look, everybody but Pondo put in work, okay?
I did work.
And Pondo did almost as much damage as I did.
No, he didn't get anywhere near as close as you did.
It was about half.
I mean, I took off like a whole chunk. Just boom.
Fired 120 blast.
Yeah. It scared the crap out of her. She doesn't like taking hits.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was about half my damage, that one blast.
I'm about to get more whenever, it's time for me to pop out.
And I know Cotton did more.
We are approaching BattleTech levels of intro.
I mean,
Well,
we can
let's
stop
do
this at any point.
Okeanos then. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. Oh no, look, we're only halfway to an Okeanos intro.
I don't really know if that's a good thing or a bad thing the way you said it.
It is what it
There's
is.
been multiple episodes of Okeanos where we finished the intro and then had to go to break.
That never happened. Not even once. Don't even joke about that. But there were several Okeanos intros that are over an hour long. Some people would only show up to that show for the intro, and our viewer count would drop by like 5 to 10 as soon as the intro was over.
That's why, like, welcome to the Okeanos podcast.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
guys should have gone and done a talk show together.
We tried to get a podcast talk show together several times, but it didn't work.
I mean, I would have been down.
You know, that's the
I
millennial
think
thing,
Brad's
right?
schedule was too busy, though.
Instead of we should start a band, it's we should start a podcast.
It's a lot less work.
Look, speaking of starting a podcast, let's talk about starting this podcast. And by podcast, I mean stream. The four of you are agents of the British Crown or British colonies of America. The year is sometime in the 19th century. Oil is meaningless. It has no power in this world of etheric steam and galvanic energy. As loyal agents of the Crown, you have been sent to the colonies in order to stop a daredevilish plot. The Mexican Air Armada, the Texas Free People's Militia, and the First Nations have all come together somewhere on the southern border for a fiendish conference in which they will unveil their new secret weapon and plan to conquer the colonies with their air power. Your crew, in use of a borrowed airship, are to infiltrate this conclave of villains, find their secrets and disrupt their operations, and leave dead or alive. Let us introduce our crew members of this particular ship. SIDAlpha, who are you playing?
I'm playing Cornelius Rathbone. I actually have to pull up his character sheet here because I can't remember some of it. Oh, we actually updated with the correct names. Pondo's was Pondo the leader.
Yes,
so
and yours
I
was
set
Sid,
mine
not
to
the
Sid,
leader.
not the leader.
Yep. Yep.
That's
know.
what I thought you did.
Yeah, Cornelius is an older gentleman. His profession is he is more of a healer type, an intellectual. He's, what did I put his age at?
So is he a combat medic?
Kind of, sort of. He's more of a scholar than anything else. I mean, he's
Okay.
72 years old. He's getting up there in years.
Why is he still working for the Special Air Services?
Because you get to experience new things and learn new things and learning new information and gaining knowledge. So well, that you see is worth it for its own sake.
Okay.
Knowledge is vital for the survival of humanity as a species.
Okay, Decker Kane. Calm
Pursued at
down.
all costs. Yeah, so he's an old, tall, skinny guy, like almost gaunt levels of skinny. Obviously, gray hair, green eyes.
Okay. All
And
right.
it looks like someone that needs to be in a nursing home.
No.
I am not sure how you're going to infiltrate a pirate den, but I am looking forward to seeing the results.
Via wheelchair, that's how. All right.
I mean, it's a steam-powered wheelchair.
Steam wheelchair.
Yeah, powered by
Yeah, it's
etheric
like that
current.
dude's, damn, what was the name of that? Wild Wild West. That dude's steam-powered wheelchair.
How do you forget Wild Wild West? It is an instant classic. All right.
I wouldn't call it
Watch
an
that
instant classic.
Right after Independence Day.
Yes, you would watch it right after Independence Day, but it wouldn't be as good as Independence Day. It would be okay.
It'll be because you fell asleep during Independence Day. And
Why would you
Netflix
fall
put it
asleep
on
during
next.
Independence Day? Independence Day
Because
is,
it's like a 2.5 hour long
Giant metal
movie.
spider.
you know, that they're planning to include an intermission break in the middle of the new Infinity War Part 2. That's how long that shit is. It's like 4 hours.
They should. They should give everyone a chance during that movie to kill yourself.
Yeah, Pondo, he's like, oh man, 4 hours.
Yeah.
Good thing I've lost interest in the movies.
Yeah. They can sell you popcorn before it starts and rope at the intermission. It'll be great.
Oh my goodness. Sam, who are you playing? Tell us a little about Barbara.
It's fuck off. It's Babra. He goes by Babra. He goes by Hero. Last name Wallace. And Babra is a slick talking high class gentleman. In Her Majesty's whatever you would
Special Air Service. Yeah.
Special Air Service.
Yeah.
He's a short. He's like a foot shorter than me, so he's like 5'3" or 5'4". Scrawny. He's probably 110 pounds or so. With big old prominent ears, and he's got pretty much as much hair as like a British guy can. So like, not like he's not like hairy, but like kinda like he's got like bushy eyebrows and probably like a thin mustache, probably like Pondo's like facial hair right out there. Probably
he just got his facial hair trimmed. Actually, it looks good. You should say it looks good.
He probably like, and he dresses like he's probably like young 30s, and he dresses like really nice, except the kind of really nice like when you wear a tie, like the really kind of nice person dress, like when you wear a tie, the tie is loose around the neck, like she doesn't want to look like he cares. So it's like the tie is just kind of like hanging there. It's unbuttoned, like he's the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, kind of.
Okay.
And like he's kind of like that. So like the shirt is like half tucked in at all times.
Let me ask, what's his nationality? What part of the British Empire does he come from?
I'm gonna.
Is he colonial?
No, I'm gonna say he's like born and raised in like South London.
Okay, all right.
Like he's like a Londoner, like scrap boy.
Pondo, why don't you tell us about Warren York?
Yes, I play. I play Warren York. I can't do the accent with the name.
Warren York.
Yeah. Funny enough, it was Yoke prior to starting the show.
Very well. I'll get into character with you. My good sir, Warren York. God damn it. Warren York, can you tell me more about yourself?
Yes, I am Warren York. I am the, so to speak, face of the group. I'm about average height male with blonde hair slicked back in the...
You're quite the narcissist. I'm literally looking at you right now, but sure, keep talking.
God damn.
Look, that one was easy. I had to take it.
Whoa, yeah.
Blonde hair slicked back. Yes, keep going.
Yes, blonde hair slicked back in the steampunk faction where it's like shaved on the sides.
Oh, so it's just like straight up punk. You literally have like a mohawk.
No, it's like
your business in the front, party in the back.
Have you not seen where type hair goes? It's actually like kind of old fashioned where it's like trimmed on the sides or shaved.
Okay.
Then they have it like greased up back in a swoop.
Yeah, you got like the hipster mullet.
Yeah. Except it was actually time period appropriate.
Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah.
He is not very unhealthy looking like how the other two were.
I object to that, sir. Most strenuously. Where's my pills?
He Grandpa Simpson now. What work do you do for the Special Air Service, Mr. York, beyond talking to people questionably well?
I am what do I do? I can't even think of what I do. I forgot shit.
Captain Wallace, what do you do for the Special Air Service?
I'm a ship captain, obviously.
Obviously.
Which usually involves nothing. That's why I do it.
I'm essentially the XO then.
Yeah, it's my job is 100% delegation. It's 100% just like you do everything. I'm good.
There's a 4-person crew, and you delegate all of the work to the other 3.
Absolutely.
We leave them to die unexpectedly.
I'm mostly in charge.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of the whiskey stock.
and he won't let me have any.
I've met several captains that I would want to be in charge of the whiskey stock and literally nothing else.
It's probably pretty accurate.
There's a battle raging in my comment section on YouTube about whiskey, by the way. I came out as being anti-whiskey, pro-Zima. And now
I'm very much a whiskey fan. If I had whiskey
there
right
it
now,
is. They're coming out of the woodwork like cockroaches.
Yeah, I'm not a whiskey guy. I don't like brown liquor generally. I don't know what it is. I can't like.
You don't like the color?
No, the smell. I don't know. As soon as I smell it, I'm like, ugh. Unless it's in like food, I don't like. I'll take it as like a flavoring, but I'm like, gin, vodka, drink it straight, casually all day, every day.
It's happening. It's happening. Chad is losing themselves in the whiskey war.
The fuck is Zima? Yeah, I don't know what Zima is. What is Zima?
Zima is
they
a
don't make
drink
Zima anymore.
Typically consumed by underage teenagers, usually with a Jolly Rancher shoved into the bottle.
Zima is
into the butt.
flavored beer that tastes good and sugary. It's like a beer soda.
No, beer tastes perfect the way it is.
No,
So
it doesn't.
wine
Beer
cooler.
tastes fucking awful. Yeah,
No.
wine coolers. I'm 100% down with it. Long Island iced tea. I got my chocolate rum right here.
Oh no, that's so upsetting.
See, the war has begun, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
We
like-
can't stop it. We
You
can't
just gave me
stop it.
like the same feeling I get after I watch an episode of New Girl. Like I just want to like shower. I just want to like wash off the fact that exists just off of me. Oh. Chocolate
Well,
rum
now
is
that I've
good.
divided everyone forever and the war is getting entrenched, Ms. Adelaide Burke,
Yes.
what can you tell us about yourself?
Hang on, I'm still confused about what I walked into.
That's all right. We'll cut back. Warren York.
Whiskey or
What
vodka?
part of the empire are you from? That's you, Pondo. You're Warren York.
Oh, I thought you were getting
Mr. York, what part of the empire are you from?
Probably the London area.
A lot of Londoners on this boat, I see. Miss Burke,
What's up?
what can you do? That doesn't sound like very professional special air service etiquette. I'll let it pass. What can you tell us about yourself? What is sup?
You know, it's how the cool kids talk now.
Indeed.
I am a tradesman mechanic for the group.
Ah, so you're the one that actually does things.
Yes, I'm probably the only one that actually does things. I also have some nifty thoughts. I stopped wearing on my head because it kind of giving me a
I
headache.
object to that assertion that I don't do anything. Now, if you excuse me, it's time for my nap.
And what part of the empire are you from, Mrs. Burke?
I didn't think of that.
Are you a colonial? Are you from the Indian subcontinent? Perhaps somewhere in Africa? From the mainland, Ireland, Scotland? Perhaps you're Welsh?
Let's go with Welsh. Welsh sounds fun.
Really? You're from Wales? I
Wales,
see.
yes.
That explains your unusual vernacular.
Yeah. I want an accurate accent, so if you could get on that, Cotton, I would appreciate
I
that.
don't know how to do accents.
We're gonna have to call Peachy Pixels in here for a quick Welsh
I also
lesson.
don't know what a Wales accent sounds like.
It's essentially the British version of a Southern accent.
I am from the Nebraska section of England.
Scotland?
Nebraska.
There is no Nebraska section of England, Sid. There is no vast plain of nothingness in every direction.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. What you're looking for is called Norway.
I believe, actually, the area you're probably going to be looking for would be Herefordshire.
Did you pronounce that with enough consonants? Omaha, England.
There's also Shropshire. That's one area of England that we are calling the Midwest to include the counties of Worcestershire, Hertfordshire, Gloucestershire, and Shropshire.
Shropshire is what Chad is suggesting.
Let's just go with Scotland. She can have like red hair instead of an accent.
Excellent.
I googled that and I found something.
No. Great. We're an hour in and we finally introduced all the characters. We're right on not schedule.
Excellent.
Let's talk about it. The four of you are on an airship.
In the chat.
This airship is being borrowed from a duke. It's pretty fast. It doesn't have any weapons, of course, because it's a racing ship. And it has, the outside rigging has been changed from the normal, very formal, to be like kind of sloppy, still very useful. There's like tattered black flags on it to indicate that it's like a pirate ship.
Yeah.
What is the name that you have given this vessel upon which your lives are dependent on?
So are we like, so we probably had already talked to this duke and he's like, okay, I'm going to give you guys a ship, but you guys need to like do some work to fuck it up. So like the scene, it was probably like, I got the sails we all took the sails down and I bought everyone like a round of drinks and we spent the night trashed and like fucking the sails up. Like peeing on them and like we threw them in the Hudson, you know, because that's shit. And like we took them back off and put them back up, painted them, and so they just look like garbage. And then we're probably like sitting around the same like bar table and we're like throwing out names.
I feel like that's what you did with your buddies last night. I don't think that's what I would do.
I stayed up way past my bedtime. It was like 7:30.
Yeah, so you're like asleep in the corner on the side. Yeah, sure. I'm trashed with just like a bunch of strangers going over ship names like Molly. No.
I totally got trashed with you.
Oh yeah, okay. You're my first mate, obviously. Done. First mate, Adelaide. And then like Warren is the straight guy who actually is good at his job. And then there's the old guy who falls asleep. All right. So me and Adelaide, and then a bunch of random bar people who I've bought their drinks to help me fuck up these sales are going over ship names. So what do you got, Cotton?
I don't know how drunk are we when we're coming up with names. I think that affects the name of the ship.
Sounds like you were pretty drunk if you were dropping shit in the Hudson and pulling it back out.
So something like Little Pissant. Or something like
I won't be able to take it seriously if anybody says the name if we call it that.
Last Night's Regret.
How about the Steamward song?
The Steamwork song?
Steamward Sun.
Steamward Sun. And I'm like, you like just say that from like the other side of the bar. It's like I hit the table like, bloody good, son, bloody good. That's a perfect name. And then I pass out.
Well, it's about time. Jeez.
Sounds like one of those rap songs.
Steamward Sun, the new rap genre that's been making the waves in the colonies.
It's literally William Shatner's spoken word poetry, but set to a phonograph.
I'm not gonna try.
It has been.
I'm so tempted to try to mimic that, but I'm like,
no, please don't. Don't unleash that upon the world.
I can. I've done that in a video.
No, we're good. We're good. We've done a lot so far to set back human progress with this stream, but we don't need that.
Samples of the Queen. Who is the monarch during this age?
She is simply known as the Queen.
Victoria. It's Victoria.
Sure,
almost for
we'll
sure.
go with Victoria.
37 to 1901.
So, it has been several days since you have left that dingy bar and come up with the Steamward Sun. You travel across the Atlantic in your new ship. There are several days worth of provisions left, but it is getting low, even with only the four of you. There are plenty of hatches to be battened down and sails to be loofed. A lot of coming about and hithertos and why-fors and all of that nonsense. Who is at the steam helm in order to guide the etheric energy that drives the ship's engines?
What's everyone's like? There's a piloting,
I
right?
have a driving, but I don't know if that's. I don't think that.
I've got nothing in piloting.
I was gonna say I think I put a lot in piloting, but I'm not sure. Is that a skill?
It is called piloting. Yes.
Nope, 0.
I'm like the medic type, so. Does anyone have piloting?
I took driving. I wasn't sure what kind of vehicles we had.
Piloting is driving, so yes. How good of a pilot are you?
You know,
It's actually a piloting skill and a driving skill.
Yeah, there's 2 different skills, but I wasn't.
So I think driving is for things that aren't the steampunk system. Let me ask you a question, Hero. What does it feel like knowing that you are the captain of this ship and yet you are incapable of handling the boat and must instead allow your second in command to do it?
It's delegation.
Delegation. Very well. Adelaide.
Yeah.
You are coming across the beautiful land of Texas. The area you're at is sandy red desert, orange cactus blossoms. Life teems from this angle that would not be visible from above. And even the small watering holes that keep the desert alive here are quite visible to your eyes from your vantage point perched above the world. But you are approaching a canyon, great and wide and terrible, that follows along a river, and you know somewhere north of this river there will be the pirate's den, known as the Last Post. How fast are you coming in? Let me ask, what's your piloting style here? I mean, are you riding dirty, full blast? Are you drifting, right? Rather than using the stabilizer fluctuators, do you allow yourself to come in sideways and slide into the canyon before sliding down in there? Or are you, perfectly coming overhead, rotating down, forward? How fast are you going? What's your style?
Well, she does pilot, but she doesn't do it super well. So it's probably like kind of drifting, but kind of not.
All right, so you accidentally forget to turn on the stabilizers.
Yeah, it's like an accidental drift, but she's playing it off like she did it on purpose.
Very well. Let's go ahead and make a drifting roll using your driving skill. Well, I didn't tell you what the difficulty was yet.
I am so sorry. I just rolled it.
It's all right.
Can I assist by like being on the prow or whatever, the front of the boat? Like I'm like hanging off the like whatever thing we have, plinth we have at the front.
Yeah, the figurehead.
Yeah, the figurehead, which is what is the figurehead, Arthur?
Oh, I was going to ask you that question.
I know you were.
The figurehead here is...
You know it would be a naked lady carved in wood.
No, the figurehead here is a naked satyr.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course it is.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunately missing a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone put their hand on it to hold on one time and snapped it right off.
Yeah, and so I go up there and instinctively like move my hand to like rest it there. I'm like, oh wait, and I almost slip and I have to like grab its nose instead and like hang off. I'm like, there's a rock formation to the left.
All right.
Heidi house, turn the ship leftwise.
Wait, which way's left?
You got a success and an advantage.
You're going the other direction.
Which other
Adelaide.
direction? Down,
Forward
up?
and starboard, not left and right.
Can you roll an extra single blue die from your dice pool, Cotton?
Nice.
So you have advantage from Hero's Help. So all the way at the top of your character sheet, it should say dice pool.
Oh, I see that.
You can put a 1 into the blue area and then hit the roll 20 die. Okay, so
what are we looking
2
at?
more. Oh, because I put that in there. My bad. You have a success on your boost die. Therefore, your final result are 2 successes and 1 advantage. You are able to make fairly good speed, and with the advantage, you manage to cancel out your stabilization problems. You keep the ship from rolling anything. The tea on board doesn't spill from any cups. It's not the most impressive that anyone here has ever seen, to be sure. But it is stable and smooth, and you keep a good pace.
Just sitting there with a
extremely impressed with herself.
Yeah, do you like look over at the teacups as they kind of just like rattle, like as you're sitting at the table, Sid, or like?
I feel like Warren is actually like turning on the stabilizers and stuff. It's like, goodness gracious, no one's been on a bloody plane.
You're the one like actually doing the work. Yeah.
Look at that, a new method for transfusions.
Yeah. And as soon as we like plop down, I just like leap off the figurehead to the ground, and like dust flies up from my boots. I'm like, all right, Texas, huh? It's kind of okay, I guess. So Doc, what's about this Texas shit?
Texas, it is the Americas, Yanks, I believe, you common vernacular. Troublesome people. They tend to like to drink, fight, and eat.
That just sounds like Mama.
So we're dealing with the Irish?
So here, the Emperor Napoleon III still controls Louisiana, but those who wish neither French nor British hierarchy over them have retreated across the continent to Texas. It is now a mixing pool of multiple nationalities, but mostly pure colonial Americans. They are a fiercely independent pain in the ass. They believe in...
Yeah, but what about the in-game Texans, Arthur? Bam! Oh, shit, that felt good. Okay,
they are
sorry.
indeed gun-toting Yanks.
Do they still practice yield ownership of people?
No, they do not practice yield ownership of people here in Texas. That is a purely American concept.
So
that hasn't. That is not. They're still capitalists. However, slavery never began in this British Empire. Well, slavery ended in this British Empire and never began in the colonies.
Oh, okay.
The sugar trade isn't a thing here, because instead you trade in etheric energy. Look,
Tastes better than sugar, anyways.
You believe that etheric current tastes better than sugar? Someone's been hitting the stuff you don't want to have. As you let loose on the boiler, Adelaide, you pick up a burst of speed, and the draft behind you down the cannon helps you race forward. And as you come around a turn, sliding sideways with your drifting, you see a massive gathering of airships that are around a single rock spire that rises from the ground almost 2,000 feet high. On it are airships that have been either beached or wrecked. It's the only large structure outside of the canyon, and it looks like somehow people have smashed into it by accident or on purpose. The whole spire is shocking. It's definitely something you don't want to hit, and it is known as the last post. There are perhaps 200 to 300 airships here, flying flags. The Texas Free People Militia, the Mexican Air Army, the First Nations people. Those make up only about half the 3 major airship gangs of pirates. There are other half are just people from all across the world, people from all across the American continent, who have gathered to figure out what's going on. How can they make money? What's going to happen to us? When you're pulling your airship in, where do you choose to park? In the independent camp, in one of the 3 major camps?
Hey, Captain, where do you want to park?
It's a great question. Do we have
Cornelius, where do we park?
Do we have affiliations or any like contacts or anything?
That is up to you. You can roll for that kind of stuff. You can spend a destiny point for that kind of stuff. You guys have 4 destiny points right now.
Oh, well, then fuck yeah. I think one of us should, right?
They'll spend a destiny point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on your sheet, hit the destiny point thing, flip it over to me. I'll take it. I'll use your destiny point.
How do we do that?
You always sound so evil when you say that shit.
Good.
Well, he wants that because he wants to mess with us later.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you should know that shit, Sam, where you guys were all like, at the beginning of the episode, use all of our light side points, and now I'm sitting here with a big fat pile of dark side points, and you're like, we're about to start combat, aren't we?
So just press use player story point?
Yes, use player story point. Excellent. I now have 2 of them. Warren, why don't you tell me about this contact that you have in the pirates? Are they an independent? Are they from one of the 3 major factions? What are they going to do for you? Who are they?
Say it's an independent, and his name is Billy Bob. Sounds good, Billy Bob. He is a mechanic, or and he's currently working in the maintenance for the hangars or is it docks?
They are called either. So docks are ones that are up on the side of buildings, and hangars are ones where you have to land and be pulled into them.
And we're going into the...
They're both here. You can either try to dock on the side of the spire, or you can try to land and get pulled into a hangar.
We're gonna dock.
So you're doing the hard stuff. You're gonna pull right up to that spire post. Okay.
Do we have a dinghy?
Now you say that. Yeah, no, it's too late. I already said it. Yeah,
do you have a dinghy? No, this ship is too small to have a dinghy. It's a racer. It's only meant to carry the four of you.
Yeah, I'm not usually Hero's not usually in the business of comparing sizes, but how big are their ships compared to ours?
Oh, they're much bigger than yours.
Okay.
Their ships are, well, okay, let's describe the different ships. So the First Nations people don't strictly use pure airships. They use a combination of sail power and etheric energy with hot air balloons. And so they range between literally just like a 4-person basket hot air balloon that goes at extremely high speed to massive blimps covered in glyphs and depictions. The Texas Free People Militia kind of use whatever garbage ass ships that they can find. There's a lot of naval ships that have been refitted to fly up in the air with etheric energy, so they have a very like a galleon briggish look to them. And the Mexican Air Army have their own special brand of ships that are all two-hulled catamarans. So it's like the ship in Waterworld where you got 2 long planks and then like a covering between them that you walk over.
Okay.
All these ships are bigger than yours. You have one of the smallest ships that arrives, but you are probably much faster.
Sure.
However, you don't have the best pilots in the world.
Debatable. So Hero looks at those ships and like mumbles to himself, it's how you use it. And then I yell
Are
over
you still hanging on the front end of the ship from a rope?
And I swing back off the figurehead onto the deck of the ship to wherever Warren. I don't know if Warren, do you have a station? What do you do for the ship besides fix everyone's fuck ups?
That's pretty much it.
That sounds pretty important.
Yeah, you're like my foil. You're the straight man. Adelaide's like my like partner in crime.
I'm like the person who should be the first mate, but's not the first mate for whatever reason.
Exactly. You're the hero. If this were a Disney movie, you would be the main character.
It's because I don't go drinking with you is the reason why I'm not the first mate.
Yeah, exactly. You're too serious. You're too real. And then Cornelius says, "You're just like, what kind of role do you play? Like advisor?
More advisor, patch up your wounds after you.
Are you like the actual representative of the crown?
Oh,
like to kind of like.
I'm not sure if I would go that far. No, one of those things.
But I would.
You know how it is. Satyrs are like advisors, but wiser. But no, I get the greenhorns.
So then I wander over to Warren and I go, well, there, Warren, where's your friend?
We should go find him. Should be around here somewhere.
So, just to be clear, I heard we're air docking. I heard we're hangaring. Where are we going?
We already said docking, so.
Okay, you pull up to the last post, Adelaide. I'm going to need you to make another roll. Billy Bob is not super well placed in the organization. He's about halfway up the last post. And the dockyard that he works at on level 35 is called the Lusty Pros. It is kind of falling apart. There's a lot of loose boards that you think if you stepped on them, you would fall through and die.
Excellent. The best place to start our investigation.
There's a lot of guide ropes that look like they're probably way more stable to just cling to them and pull yourself along the dockside than use any of the wood here. I'm just gonna need you to make a basic let's dock roll.
Can I assist?
Yes. How do you assist? And then we'll set up the dice pool based on that.
pretty much like helping, just be like, no, a little slower. Put the brake on.
All right, Adelaide. Your roll is 1 purple die, 2 black die. So you can add them at the top to your pool, and then click your skill down at the bottom, and it should roll all of them together. That is a success. With an advantage. Wow, incredible roll. Both of those setback dice came up blank. Adelaide, what dice sorcery are you using? I was expecting SIDAlpha in here.
Rolling. It's cotton rolling shit.
You pull up nice and slowly. You drift sideways into the dock. You bump up against it. Someone throws a rope to you, and then Billy Bob comes out and he's like, "Woo-wee! That sure is one hell of a beauty!" I'm talking about the ship, of course. Y'all look like the backside of a goddamn rat pooped out something. There's my boy Warren York. How you doing out there, Warren York? Why don't you come on down here and Lusty Pros? I'll get you worked up with the Dockmaster real quick. But ladies and gentlemen, Warren York, you might know him as one of the dastardliest pirates who have ever crossed the land of Texas before. I heard he shot a sheriff in the face once with a derringer. A derringer, can you believe that?
Yeah, it was the damnedest thing. You wouldn't even believe it unless you were there. How's it going, Billy Bob? How are things going on around here?
All right now. You know. And then he like switches over to his non-secret. He switches back over to his normal voice. He's like, "Everything's going quite well, Warren. Why don't we step into my office?"
Excellent. I'm getting really tired of talking like this.
Rifle.
The 4 of you are led into the Dockmaster's office. Billy Bob is just like, "I apologize for the display out there. You know, we must do what we must, and the Special Air Services needs. I've been implanted undercover here for about 6 months. I was the one who set up the signal flag. The higher-ups in the last post have sent word that the 3 major airship gangs are gathering here, and I'm to assist you in any way possible."
Excellent. I imagine it's the most dreadful position to be in.
That's...
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Billy Bob. My name is Hero, and this here is First Mate Adelaide. And the old man here, don't you worry, he's awake. I can assure you. His name is Cornelius.
Fantastic. I'm going to make up fake names for all of you to put in this register.
That'd be very grateful.
Now, I have here some spending change, if you require it, but... perhaps what you need more is information. Or maybe you're ready to go. If you just take a left at the end of the dockyard, you'll be able to head inside of this spire, the last post, and make your way up or down wherever you desire. The very top is where the ceremony is happening between the 3 heads of the pirate gangs. I'm not sure where this special secret weapon is being stored, but... perhaps you can get somebody drunk or something. It hasn't worked for me yet. Everyone thinks that I'm some backwoods jackass.
I believe we have just a man to get someone drunk.
Fantastic.
Who's that?
I'll let you know when I see you.
Well, we're only in a little bit of trouble here. I'm sure everything will work out great, but do you require any more information or services from me?
Any advice you can give us on how to get up to the meeting? Or can we just walk right in?
Once you start getting into the upper levels, I'm sure that they're going to want you to display affiliation with one of the 3 major gangs.
As in, like, tattoos or...
clothing, tattoos, perhaps accents. You might be able to mix in by all pretending to be Texas.
Ah, yes, Texas.
Yes.
What's that?
That's me, Billy Bob. I'm from Texas. Woo!
Why would you want me to act like an ass?
Yes.
We must blend in as to not reveal
Are you sure you are
ourselves.
all qualified for this particular mission, or do you want to leave the old man on the ship?
Here, son, I've been doing this sort of thing since well before you were born.
You could pretend that this man is your butler or something that you stole from someone's ship.
I am quite good at butling. I used to do that back in the 30s. You see.
I may very well do that, just in case.
Ah, yes, the 1830s were such a wonderful time for the Empire. We really expanded quite hard.
Indeed.
Yes. I was looking after this lovely young couple named the Hammersmiths. They were in gun.
Oh, all right, Doc. All right. That's good. That's quite all good
Anyway,
and done.
do you know of anyone or anything that possess higher clearance that we could maybe procure from them? Me?
He says, there are plenty of people with higher clearance. The issue, of course, would be finding and identifying a specific one. Again, you're going to need to decide which of the 3 air gangs you're going to infiltrate, and I must say, I don't think any of you are going to be capable of passing off as First Nations.
Is there any common meeting place for most of them, or do they all meet separately?
They do meet throughout the spire here. Every 10 levels or so, you can find a nice bar.
What's the most popular bar?
Ah, the most popular bar. Well, I assume you're looking for the chocolate rum bar, of course.
Fuck
Much
off.
more.
Sorry.
Much
Sorry, that was a
more.
reflex.
No, not into chocolate rum then. I see. Well, I'll give you the second most popular bar. It's pretty close. It's a whiskey bar called the Toad and Cat.
Right. Well, fellas, and miss, I believe we should head towards the Totem Cat then. We could go to chocolate rum if we wanted, but, preferences.
Do the 3 gangs, or whatever they are, those heathens, do they all speak the same, or do they have different accents?
They all have exceedingly different accents, but you'll find several members in each who speak in, well, what we're speaking in now, the Queen's English.
In correct English, sir.
Yes.
You must forgive him. He's from the old times.
Oh, well, he could have been inquiring about, what the colonials call English, American.
And indeed, you see, when different areas throughout the world have different what they consider to be colloquial accents.
Which direction is the bar that you spoke of?
Ah, it is up on the 60th floor, two 10 levels below the top of the spire.
Excellent. And do you have any clothes that we could use to disguise ourselves?
If you prefer dressing like mechanics, I can whip you up something.
Yeah. Do we need disguises, or did we? Yeah.
So he opens a closet wherein there are a number of oil and etheric current stained mechanics outfits.
This will just work just nicely for where we're going.
I tend to be forgotten fairly quickly, but if I need to wear one of these accoutrements, then I suppose,
Yes, this will work very nicely. Thank you. I'm assuming this will give us clearance enough to get into that bar, that we may be able to procure.
Well, I would assume we're not exactly dressed up like like the Queen's bodyguard. I'm not in like a beaver skin hat going watching Chip. Talk about teas and crumpets.
I really hope you never go to England.
But I would at least assume that we're dressed up like normal, like we could pass for anybody, any independent, right? Like that would be my guess.
Yeah.
We look like
the
pirates.
problem is that you don't want to pass as an independent here.
Yes.
Right. But we need information. I think we need information first. So a hero would say, grab the mechanics smocks. If we need them, we can use them. You'd look good in it, Warren. I'm sure you would. You could probably pass off for one. Your dad was probably a mechanic. Let's head up to the bar, shall we? See if
Brilliant
we can
idea, sir. I wish I thought of it first.
Right. Me too.
It was rather astute, yes.
A bunch of imbeciles.
Are these mechanic stuff much different than the ones that I'm currently wearing?
No. One mechanic's
Don't
overalls
worry about it.
is
Sometimes
just
it
as
makes
good.
me feel better to think that he's the one that came up with everything.
That's your go-to, is lie to the captain until he feels better about himself?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So we go ahead and
You
get
head
switching-
up to the totem cat. There is a sign outside listing that the meal of the day is baked crab and dried peaches with a glass of whiskey for a reasonable amount of money. Inside, there are a number of sailing wheels, spars, pieces of wreckage, large maps that appear to have a number of stains on them, knives that have been slammed into the woodworked walls. The air current here is not good. It smells bad. The air is not exchanging with the outside, and it's fucking hot as shit. It's Texas. You're in the interior of a spire with no air conditioning and no airflow. It smells like drunk pirate, unwashed bodies, and steamed crab.
So as we stand in the double doorway, I think Hero loosens the tie that he has even looser and unbuttons a button and all right, I suggest we all fan out and see if we can glean any information that we can, perhaps the location of this whatever weapon thing, or to the meeting. See if we can. Yeah, whatever. We'll reconvene at the bar. You'll find me. And I go, bartender, and I start walking. I walk that way.
And I'll actually look for people of major interest. They are among the 3 gangs and whatnot. Essentially messes that don't look like they're covered in ethereal or oil.
Cornelius, what are you doing?
I'm going to go to the bar, order a double whiskey, of course, because that is the only alcohol worth having. And
Some have said that.
Survey the room for people I'd be able to glean some information from.
Adelaide, what's your plan?
She's looking for people that look like they're from one of the main 3 groups, but that'll lower down other mechanics and stuff.
Okay, all right, yeah. So you are Hero and Cornelius both head to the bar. Warren and Adelaide spread out into the room. Warren is looking for the mucky mucks, and Adelaide is looking for the lower class. Cornelius, you go up to the bar and you drop your line of whiskey is the only thing worth drinking. The bartender gives a short barking laugh, pours out a thing of whiskey for you, and then puts a glass of peach juice next to it, slides both toward you and says, "On the house, mate, on the house. The name's Thomas Malvin. Can I inquire where you gentlemen are from?"
What was our cover story? Or did we
I
have
don't
a
know.
cover
What is
story?
your cover story?
Sorry, I'm asking this out of character.
I know, but it was pretty funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's say let's just say we're Midwestern ex-colonist Midwestern pirates.
Okay.
From
pretty
where
reasonable.
else would you be a pirate from but Detroit?
The Detroit Pirates. Got it.
It's as I've been studying everyone in the room, and I pick up I mimic his vernacular and start extolling the benefits of growing up and living and working in Detroit.
Ah, an independent like myself. I understand. Well, there's someone around here speaks the Queen's English. Wouldn't believe some of these Mexicans speaking their godforsaken Mexicani or whatever they do. You won't catch any of them here in my bar. Now, can I interest you in some crab and peaches, sir?
Can we just chalk it up to we're gonna get whatever information we can from the bar area, whether it's a bartender or someone standing next to us. Me and Sid can help each other, aid each other on a roll, and we can just.
Who's the leader of this, and who's keeping an eye watch and trying to pick people out?
I would assume I would lead
trying to keep
conversation.
my watch.
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like Hero, you're making the roll with a with an assist.
I want to angle for charm. Wink,
Yeah,
wink, wink.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So what do I do?
Give yourself one blue die, 2 purple die, and then roll your charm.
One blue. Oh, I can't fail. There's no way I can fail.
Oh, you can fail, sir.
Oh, you can
fail, but you didn't.
He did not fail.
So
Two
it's like we like flash cut to me at the bar, and I'm like, I have my back on the bar with like a mug in one hand, classic beer, and I'm like surrounded by like 5 or 6 people. Cornelius is on my side as well, like wingmanning me, giving me like the like info, the like cold text of to back up whatever color a badger is or whatever, and I'm like telling stories while also like prodding around information. It's something like that's not a raccoon. That's my wife. And then everyone like laughs. Well, like
Cornelius is basically the walking encyclopedia.
Yeah. Cornelius, tell the people what a raccoon is.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yeah. So we try to charm our
Cornelius, you managed to pick out someone who looks particularly gullible. He is the first mate of a ship. His name is Tiberius K. James, and he's a Texan. And so you direct Hero in his efforts in that direction. And Tiberius is like, how's it going, y'all? I'm Tiberius, just a little drunk here, part of the Free People Militia. I'm very important. Pretty important. I work on special projects.
Oh, fuck, I'm going into Southern again.
Oh, you're from Detroit. I can tell from your accent too.
Hello, Tiberius. Yeah, of course. We as well work on special projects, don't we, Cornelius?
Oh my goodness, you guys are on the special project as well?
No, we're on our own special project, but Cornelius here will tell you about it.
I didn't know the Independents had a special project. What the hell are you people doing?
2 drinks, and I put them both in front of the guy we're talking to, or 2 of them in front of the guy we're talking to, and then
He's like, well, normally I prefer rum, but I'll take this whiskey.
And a man such as yourself is fucking Southern. Fuck. You're drinking alone without your captain. Where's your captain at?
Oh, my captain's pretty busy. We're getting ready to deploy the special project, as it were. As it were.
Cornelius, the man, of course, is curious, isn't he? Why don't you tell him about our special project? Perhaps we could show it to him.
It would be very much easier to show as opposed to tell. Yeah.
Friend, so why don't you listen to me? Why don't you down that drink? We'll buy you another one. Why don't you come out with us and we'll show you our special project, and perhaps we can trade some
all
drinks.
right then. Yeah, I'm 100% down with seeing special projects. I'm a special project tier. Who knows? Maybe we could exchange some ideas. Maybe we can improve our special project based off of your special project. So the 2 of you are on either side of him, like pulling him out of the bar.
Yeah.
Warren, Adelaide, in the meanwhile, you are looking for people that are from different factions. Is there any particular faction you guys are trying to settle in on? Or just general?
What was the other 2 factions?
So it is the Texas Free People Militia, the Mexican Air Army, and the First Nations people.
Do the Texans Free Militia.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. I'm sure there's some form of like perception or insight roll in this game.
There's a perception roll.
Yeah, let's go ahead and make that. Your difficulty is 1 purple.
Could I assist in any way?
Yes. How do you assist?
I guess I'm gonna look around. He was looking for like the higher ups.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna look around and point out people that look like they might be higher up, but are faking it.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking for posers, people who are trying to seem more important than they are.
Like that guy's a poser. Don't talk to him. He's not.
Thank you. Very much needed.
Buddy.
Warren,
So what do I roll now?
you now add a 1 purple and 1 blue to your dice pool, and then roll your perception. Or you could just hit the roll dice because it looks like you've put 2 green and a yellow and all sorts of stuff on your.
Yes, I was loading up before she was set
Okay.
to shoot 8.
Okay, 3 successes and a threat.
Wow.
All right, Warren, you find a fairly high ranking. He's a Commodore in the Texas Free People Militia. He's slumming it down here. He's got a gigantic ass cowboy hat that looks like it's got at least 20 gallons on it, maybe 25 on a good day. You of course,
Whoa.
as a British citizen, you don't know what a gallon is. It doesn't compute for you. But these fucking colonials and their non-metric system, who knows how much could be inside that hat? Several liters at least.
Is it a 10-gallon hat?
I mean, it's between 20 and 25.
It's more like a 23.5-liter hat.
Yeah.
Sid's about to math it up for us.
yeah.
25-gallon. That'd be a whopping.
Does it look like he's been drinking or anything? Or...
Oh, he is not drunk at all. Very sharp-eyed. He seems to be keeping an eye on all of the rest of the Texas boys from like a little perch. So he's sitting on a table watching all the rest of the Texas Free People here. Occasionally when they look like they're about to get in a fight, or when someone spills a drink on someone, he clears his throat and they stop what they're doing and turn to look at him and then sit back down and stop fucking up.
I think what I'll do is he's over by the bar, correct? Or is he kind of in a corner somewhere?
He's in a corner sitting on a table.
I'll have them order essentially the special, but without the whiskey. Substitute the whiskey with something non-alcoholic as the matter, because it appears that he's like, just give him a different beverage instead of whiskey.
Okay, all right. The bartender's just like, we serve whiskey and peach juice. That's what we got here.
Just give him would you please just give him a double? I'm just trying to mix British with Texan now. Yeah, would you just please give him a double dose of the peach juice?
Got it.
That'd be fine.
And he gets out a really big glass and begins pouring peach juice in it while staring you in the eye, just like, 1 double dose of peach juice. He slides it over to you. You leave a few coins on the table.
Yeah, I gotta pay the money with the tip.
You're approaching this person?
Yes. We pretty much had the food sensors table.
Adelaide, what are you doing?
I want to go to the group of Texas people that are drunk.
Okay, all right. So you're running interference for the drunk Texans. Okay. As you approach this Commodore, he gives you a stare, Warren. He gives you a death stare. The closer you get to him, the more deadly his stare becomes. And when you get within comfortable speaking distance to him, he says, "What are you doing over here, boy?"
I'll just come over here for some nice, lovely conversation. You seem like someone that needs a little bit of company, and I see that you're kind of busy with yourself. Make sure all the little rabble rousers not really make sure they're behaving themselves, essentially.
It's a big day for the Free People's Militia. Trying to make sure nobody here fucks it up.
I understand greatly. Trust me, I do. Can I sit here, sir? Wouldn't be too much of an issue. So I got some food coming over here and figured that you might want something to eat as well.
Make a charm check. Your difficulty is 1 red, 1 black die.
Oh, lovely.
I thought it was pretty lovely myself.
So 1 red, 1 black.
Mm-hmm. Wow, my boy Red came up completely blank. You fucking betrayed me, you son of a bitch. All right. He looks like against his better judgment. He says, fine, sit down. What kind of food are you getting? Because they only serve 2 things here, whiskey and peaches. And
Peaches.
steamed crabs.
I got steamed crab.
The steamed crab's pretty good. The peaches are not.
Well, would you rather have that or whiskey?
Can't afford to get drunk today.
I understand.
So he raises a hand and says, 1 order of steamed crab over here. What's brought you to my table?
It seemed like you need a little bit of company. You're just sitting here watching them hooligans, essentially.
They're good
Mosey
men.
around.
Free men.
Yeah.
That
They're
occasionally requires some corrective behavior.
Yeah. That's a hooligan. Question. So
Stares at you like a lizard. Completely emotionless.
So what's got you all worked up? What's the? I heard there's something big going on around here. What's got you all worked up, sir?
What are you doing here if you don't know why we're all here?
Oh, I just don't know what part you play in the whole thing, sir.
The part that I play is the one that keeps Texas men from attacking our allies. Can't have them beating up on the Mexicans or the First Nations. Sometimes the 3 of us like to fight, solve our difficulties with fists, but today's a big day. Today is the day we make our first strike against the British Empire. And he says, down with the British Empire! And everyone's like, yeah! Several people spit. Someone tosses their glass on the ground and smashes it. And he says, this is the kind of behavior I'm here to encourage. Not fighting each other, but to make sure we're all bonded. Once the special project is complete and unveiled and our treaty is signed, the whole fleet will be heading out together to strike at Jamestown.
Of course. Yeah, it's stupid British and they're weird.
Yes, they are pretty stupid.
Measurements of liters and
yeah, everyone knows that gallons and feet are much better.
oh, of course, most definitely. When does the meeting go down? Actually,
It's happening in the next few hours.
oh, excellent.
So he reaches into his pocket of his waistcoat and pulls out a steam-powered watch and presses it open, and there's a little beep of steam that comes out as he checks the time, and he says, a little less than an hour from now. I just have to keep these hooligans together until the meeting ends, and then they can beat up whoever they want. Where did you say you hailed from again?
I hail from... Shit, what is it?
You seem to be having a lot of trouble with this question.
Out of character. Where's the Free Texans hail from?
Texas.
Yeah, I'm from Texas itself.
You don't sound Texan.
More closer to the Detroit side.
Detroit is nowhere near Texas, my friend.
I'd say it'd be out of Texas.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to make a deception check, because this guy's wondering why you're asking so many questions and why you don't know where Texas is.
All right.
Good day, mate. I'm from Texas, isn't it?
What's the difficulty?
Well, the difficulty now is considerably harder. It's 1 red, 2 purple. Would you like to use a story point to bump up your roll?
Nah.
I'm going to give you a blue die for your earlier success.
Okay.
Good luck. No successes and a threat.
Goody.
So, you don't know that you failed here. He lets out a big smile and stands up and says, you know, it's taking a little while for those steamed crabs. Why don't we go up and see the bartender?
Excellent. That sounds like a terrific idea.
So when you stand up, he wraps his hand around your shoulder and then whistles to two of his guys to come with him as he guides you towards the bartender. Adelaide, you've been drinking with these Texans. They are very drunk. They're very rowdy. They just got done decrying the British Empire. You notice two of them stand up and begin following Warren. Warren, how are you feeling right now? Like, do you feel threatened? Do you feel like you're in trouble? Do you think everything is going perfectly?
Is there any signs that I should feel threatened?
No, these guys are coming up from behind you. You don't even know they're approaching.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I feel fine.
Okay.
I feel like I got
York looks like an idiot. He's just going along with some dude, guiding him toward the bar, and two guys stand up, and they stop for a moment, and one of them pulls out a steam-powered knife. He presses a button on it, and then you hear like a little beep and a whistle of steam, and then it switchblades out. Rather than using springs, they just go ahead and use steam energy. He could be in a little bit of trouble. Like, you don't know whether this guy's about to stab York or whether he's just going to threaten him. Your rest of your friends are left. You're literally the only friendly person left in this bar.
I would like to happen to accidentally bump into the guy.
With the knife?
Because I'm, you know, super drunk.
You're the Texas version of a Valley Girl. Oh my God, y'all. I am so wasted on peach whiskey right now.
Yeah. She just bumps into him. She goes, "Oh, I am so sorry. I can't feel my legs right now. I think I might have drank too much."
I literally can't even. I'm sorry, Texas. I feel just as bad. All right. I need you to make a skullduggery roll.
Skullduggery?
Yes. Difficulty is 2P.
Oh,
2 purple.
boy.
It looks like you are not very good at skullduggery.
Mm-mm.
That's unfortunate. Looks like your dice aren't very good at skullduggery either. That is 2 failures and an advantage. Okay, so you definitely are not going to be able to knock the knife out of this guy's hand. There are 2 people headed towards York. I will allow you to spend your advantage, if you would like, to hold the guy with the knife. You're not going to get rid of the knife, and you're going to be in a different situation, because now you're like one-on-one with the guy with the knife out, and he's like, "What are you doing? You got your arm on me. Get off, woman!" Or you could spend your advantage to walk away cleanly without this guy noticing that you were trying to go for the knife.
I guess I'll hold one back.
Okay, all right. We get the 4-way camera following Cornelius, taking notes behind the special projects engineer, writing down whatever he's saying. Wallace, who's walking with the engineer, convincing him that if you just come back to our ship, we can talk about our independent Detroit special project. York, who's going up to the bar, thinks everything's great. And then we get Adelaide looking at that one guy following behind York, cracking his knuckles. And when we come back from the break in the second half, we'll explore just how bad things are about to get here. I mean, for some of the party, they're in a good spot. And for some of the party, they're about to get stabbed or beaten up or something. Guys, we'll be back in 8 minutes. Enjoy the break music.